ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। नमस्कार। In this Independence Day weekend retreat, the topic that we selected for discussion is Sarvatra Samadarśanaḥ. Samadarśanaḥ. Samam darshanam yasya saha samadarshanah. One who has the vision of sameness. Sarvatra, everywhere, meaning at all times, at all places, under all circumstances, and for everything sentient or insentient. Sarvatra Samadarśanaḥ, the one who enjoys the darshanam, the vision of samatvam, sameness, equality. One who sees sameness or equality everywhere. This is a quarter of a verse from the Bhagavad Gita, the 6th chapter. Sarvabhutasthamaatmanam sarvabhutani chatmani ikshate yoga yukta atma sarvatra samadarśanaḥ. So who is the one who enjoys the vision of sameness everywhere? Yoga yukta atma. Yoge yuktaha atma yasya saha yoga yukta atma. Here the word atma means the mind. One whose mind is joined with, focused upon, concentrated in yoga. Where the word yoga means the knowledge. So one who abides in the knowledge is yoga yukta atma. So one who abides in the knowledge, here the knowledge of the self, knowledge of Brahman, knowledge of Ishvara. One who abides in that knowledge sees the same everywhere. So this vision of oneness is extolled in more than one place in the Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna seems to give importance to or prescribes, in fact, this samadarsha, samatvam. The sameness is what Lord Krishna prescribed everywhere. Siddhya siddhyoho samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. In fact, when the Lord gave the definition of yoga, Siddhya siddhyoho samo bhutva. One having become sama, even-minded towards siddhi, and a siddhi towards success and failure. So the even-mindedness was called the yoga in the first stage, and the vision, so even-mindedness, same-mindedness, equal-mindedness, which is a state of mind, is called yoga at the first stage, and the vision of sameness, which is the vision of the knowledge, is called the yoga in the ultimate sense. So Lord does use the word yoga in Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna uses the word yoga in the sense that Yoga Shastra also uses yoga chitta vritti nirodha, the stoppage of the mind, the cessation of thoughts of the mind, that state called samadhi, absorption, is called yoga in the Yoga Shastra. In that sense also Lord Krishna uses the word yoga in the Bhagavad Gita. Except here, the yogi is one whose mind is absorbed in the vision of sameness, vision of oneness, in the knowledge of oneness. So here the word Lord Krishna uses the word yoga or yogi in the sense of also the one, the wise person who abides in the knowledge of the self. What is the reason why the Lord brings up this concept of sameness again and again? Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam yah pashyati sa pashyati. One who sees the same truth obtaining in each all is called, is the one who really sees. Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gavihastini shunichaiva svara pandita samadarshinaḥ. Again, samadarshinaḥ. Those wise people who see samam, sameness, in a brahmana, in a cow, in an elephant, etc. Suhrun mitra yudasina madhyastha dvesha bandhushu sadhu svavijapakeshu samadrushti vishishyate. One who is samadrushti, having the vision of sameness, in a suhrit, benefactor, mitra, in a friend, ari, even in a foe, etc. So in all these people, all this diversity, one, or in all these diverse kinds of people, samadarshi, one who sees the sameness, vishishyate, he excels. So you can say that this samadarshanam, the seeing of sameness, seeing of equality, seeing of oneness, is the vision that the Bhagavad Gita wants to impart to us. Why would that be so? Only if that vision is important to us. For understanding the importance of vision of sameness, we should understand what the vision of inequality. The inequality, disparity that we usually see. What does that vision do to us? In reference to which the value, the importance, or the benefit of seeing the same would be understood. Now, seeing Vishamata, Samata, sameness, Vishamata, non-sameness, diversity, disparity, inequality. This inequality, disparity, inequality, duality, division, seeing this duality, inequality, disparity, non-sameness, that's the vision with which we are born. We are born with this vision, meaning this conclusion in our mind that things are different from each other. That the world is different, I am different. That's the first conclusion. I am different and you are different. Second conclusion. A pot is different and a cloth is different. A third conclusion. The Jagat universe is different. The Creator, Ishvara, is different. Another conclusion. I am different. Ishvara is different. Another conclusion. So thus this conclusion you can call. The words of Puja Swamiji, conclusion. Opinion is what we have. Not the knowledge, but the conclusion, the opinion that we have. That everywhere there is duality, inequality, separatedness, division, mutual exclusion. This is the kind of conclusion that we are born with. Nobody has to make an effort for that. That's the, as in words of Puja Swamiji, ignorance is what we are born with. It is ignorance of sameness that creates the conclusion of non-sameness. So you may say, Swami, there is equality. Everything is different from everything else. No two things are identical in this universe. Even two thumbprints are not identical, even though at first sight they may look alike, but they are not. Two look-alike things are not identical. Even the so-called identical twins are not identical. Of course, in these days of mass manufacturing, every piece that is manufactured looks identical to every other piece. But still, if you look extremely closely, then there are some minute microscopic differences in everything. Two things made at different times cannot be identical. Don't have to be. But they are not. Even though usually this difference is obtaining in one thing with the other, that generally does not bother us, it doesn't affect our life. Meaning that we are generally comfortable with the differences existing between a table and a chair, between the pot and the cloth, generally comfortable. And that conclusion does not seem to affect us much, affect our comfort, affect our happiness, affect our security? Doesn't seem to. But the inequality that affects us is that you are different and I am different. The world is different, I am different. This is a kind of inequality. That is what causes problems. Now the thing is, the inequality is the name of the game because that means creation. Creation means one becoming many. That's how the Upanishad explains. So kamayata bahusyam sadeva soumya idamagrasit ekameva dvitiyam. Upanishad says, idam, this universe of diverse names and forms, of inequality, diversity, disparity, agree, before its creation was Sat existent, Sat Chit Ananda. Satyam Jnanamanandam Brahma Ekameva Dvitiyam, one without a second. Which means that before the creation all there was one. Without a second. Meaning that it is not one among many. It is one without many. Kevalam, only one, absolutely one. Totally devoid of all divisions. Ekam eva advitiyam. Ekam, one, eva, only, advitiyam, non-dual. Meaning that there is no difference or duality or divisions which we normally experience in our day-to-day lives. These divisions are classified as Sajatiya, Vijatiya, Svagata, Bheda. Bheda means division. Mutual exclusion. In Sanskrit, Anyonya Abhava means mutual exclusion. What one is, the other one is not. What other one is, this one is not. And all these bheda, bhava, bheda, the divisions, mutual exclusions are classified in three categories: Sajatiya, Vijatiya, Svagata. Sajatiya, the bheda, the duality, divisions existing in sajati, in the objects or entities of the same class. Like furniture is one class of entities. In that, table is different, chair is different, teapot is different, bed is different. The divisions obtaining in the entities of same class. Tree is one class. Mango tree is different, neem tree is different, trees are different. So this was Sajatiya Bheda. Human beings, I am different, you are different. Sajatiya Bheda. The Bheda, the division, the inequality or the non-sameness existing in the entities of the same class. Vijatiya Bheda. The Veda or the division or the duality obtaining between members of different class. Like that, obtaining between a tree and a rock, different class. Between sentient and insentient. Between wood and stone. Vijatiya Bheda. And third is called Svagata Bheda. The internal difference is obtaining a same entity, one entity. Like I am one entity. But hands are different, legs are different, head is different, stomach is different, neck is different. So thus the divisions, svagata, swasmin gataha, the division obtaining within oneself. So all these kind of divisions are recognized, and therefore our experience at the sense level only reveals these differences. And it is understandable that we take as real what we see. We see all these divisions, inequalities, dissimilarities. That's what we experience, and that's what we think is reality. Other way of explaining is the multiplicity. So continuing that story, Sadeva Swami idam agra asit ekameva dvitiyam. This universe which right now we see as possessing all these various divisions, duality, inequality, dissimilarities, agre, before its creation, Sadeva Asit was just Sat, existence. And Sat means Chit also. Chit also means Ananda. All this universe before its creation was Sat Chit Ananda. Yes, Swamiji, but there was something else and nothing else. All there was one Sat Chit Ananda, one non-dual. Nothing else was there. Then the Upanishad proceeds to explain that how to explain all this diversity that we see. So Upanishad has to explain our life. And the way it tells us a story. Tadaikshata bahusyam prajaya iti. That's Sat, that Devata, the self-shining Sat existence, Satchidananda Paramatma. Aikshata, it saw, it deliberated. Bahusyam, may I become many. Prajaya, may I be born. You can ask, why do you think, why Swami did this Bhagavan think like this? I don't know. And that's why we say it's a story. I should not say that. This is Upanishad, so it's a pramana. Pramana means valid means of knowledge, means what it says is all true. But still, some part of it can be called story to explain the true thing actually. Upanishad wants to reveal the one among the many, the non-dual among the duality. Therefore it tells us the story of duality. The story of duality is told to help us understand non-duality in spite of duality. Our Puja Swami used to say, non-duality is not the absence of duality, which it can be. It is non-duality in spite of duality. In spite of duality, diversity, inequality that we experience, that is non-duality. In fact, Vedanta teaches that all there is non-duality. Sarvam khalvedam Brahma. Idam sarvam. All this indeed is Brahman. What is Brahman? Nirdosham hi samam Brahma. Brahma is nirdosham. Is devoid of all dosha, other faults. Devoid all raga dvesha, all guna dosha. It is nirgunam, nirdosham, nirvishesham. Samam, equal. That's what Brahma is. ત્યાં જઈને જુઓ nirdosham hi samam Brahma. So Bhagavad Gita itself gives the definition or explanation. What is Brahma? Nirdosham hi samam Brahma. Brahma is nirdosham, nirgunam, nirvishesham, nirakaram. It is faultless. Nirdosha means free from all dosha, all defects, all faults, all impurities. Brahman, Ishvara, God, the truth is like that. That Brahman, Aikshata, saw, deliberated, Bahusya, may I become many, Prajaya, may I be born. How Brahman, which is non-dual, ever pure, devoid of all attributes, devoid of all divisions. If that is the truth, then how to explain all this duality? To explain that this story is being told. Brahman said, may I become many. Brahma thought, may I become many, may I be born as this universe. Then it created the element fire, and then it created the element air, water, earth. So space, air, fire, water, earth, these elements are created. How did it create? Where did it get it? When Brahman is one without a second, ever pure, has no impurity there, no duality is there, no help there, how did he create? That's the question. For creating, you should have some material. A pot maker, for him to create, must have some material such as clay, and hopefully also some help, some tools in terms of the potter's wheel, etc., etc. When he said that Brahman was one without a second, that means there's nothing there. No material there, no tools there, no implements there, no help there, nothing available to create. So how can then creation take place? Well, in fact, I did not intend to touch this topic right now, but anyway, the discussion has come. And you're all students of Vedanta. But if I tell you that right now, then there will be no fun in other discussion, So, Tat Srishtva, Ishvara created all this diversity. Tadevanupravishada, he entered the names and forms. Vichitya dhiraha namani kritva abhivadanyadaste sarvani rupani vichitya dhiraha namani kritva abhivadanyadaste, says Purusha Sukta. Sarvani rupani vichitya, having created all these forms, namani kritva, assigning name to each of them, abhivadan, then it proclaims, I am so and so, aste. That's what Ishvara did. Meaning that this diversity is all created by Ishvara. And therefore, that is what we experience. Why does Lord Krishna emphasize the vision of oneness, of sameness? Because the truth of all this diversity, the dissimilarity is that Brahman, Nirdosham is Samam Brahma, the ever pure, ever innocent, one non-dual Brahman is the reality of all these diversity and all the defects and problems that we see. So what we experience in the world, are lots of problems in our life. And even problems also do not matter. They all create divisions, they all create sorrow. They create mental suffering. Either sorrow or suffering which is our problem. That's called samsara. And the reason for that suffering is our conclusion that what there is duality. This is our conclusion. What there is non-sameness. What there is duality. What there is separatedness. What there is division, dissimilarity, disparity. And it is true that at the sense level, what we experience the world does display that duality, dissimilarity. And again, Vedanta, accepting the Prakriya of Sangha, explains how the material cause of creation is this Prakriti. Vedanta, they will call it Maya, which is composed of three gunas, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. So Prakriti or Maya, which is said to be the material cause of the universe, is made up of the three gunas, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. And therefore this universe is a manifestation of three gunas. So we earlier made a statement, Tadaikshata, Tat Teja, Asrujata, that Ishvara or Brahman deliberated and created the element fire, or you can say element, 5 elements it created. Akash, Vayu, Agni, Apaha, Prasvi. The elements space, air, fire, water, earth. And since the original cause is Maya or Prakriti, which is made of three gunas, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, so naturally, the qualities of effect flow into the qualities of cause flow into the effect also. So Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, which are contained in Maya, what Maya is made up of, they naturally flow into the effect which is in these 5 elements. Meaning each element also has these three gunas, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. So then the diversity or process of creation is further explained. How the element sattva means purity, transparency, light, knowledge. Therefore, first, from the sattva aspect of these 5 elements are created the faculties of knowledge. The 5 organs of perception and the mind. These are the faculties of knowledge. These are created from the sattva aspect of the 5 elements. So from the sattva aspect of element space, the quality of element space is sound. Therefore, from the sattva aspect of element space is created the faculty of hearing, the organ of hearing, which perceives sound. Touch is the quality of the element air. Therefore, from the sattva aspect of element air is created the organ of touch. Fire, the quality is color or form. So eyes which perceive the colors and forms are created from the sattva aspect of element fire. Water has the quality of taste. Therefore, our palate or tongue, which is the organ of perception of taste, is created from the sattva aspect of element water. And earth, the quality is smell. Therefore, the nose, the organ of smell, is created from the sattva aspect of the element earth. Similarly, rajas aspect. Rajas means activity. Therefore, and further, one more thing. From the combined sattva aspect of all the five elements is created antahkaranam, the inner organ which we call mind. So together, the organs of perception and mind together are the instruments that we have for gaining knowledge. Knowledge of the world and many other kinds of knowledge. Second thing that we do, so we have this power of knowledge which is exercised through these five organs of perception and the mind. The power of action, Kriya Shakti, for which we have the five organs of action, and the prana, the vital air. So the five organs of action are the organ of speech, created from the rajas aspect of element, space. Our hands, second organ of action, created from the rajas aspect of element, air. Legs, the third faculty, organ of action, created from the rajas aspect of element fire. Organ of procreation, created from the rajas aspect of element water. Organ of excretion, created from the rajas aspect of element earth. And the combined rajas aspect of all the five elements, they form the prana, the vital air, which provides the vitality, the energy to all the organs. Now what is left? The tamas aspect is left. So understand that when these five elements are created, then their pure form, called tanmatras, meaning that they are not visible, they are not perceptible, and they are all subtle. So therefore, from the sattva and rajas, both of which cannot be perceived with the sense organs, from them is created the subtle body. What is subtle body? The organs of action, the mind, perception and mind, and the organs of action and prana. That's subtle body. So what is left now is the tamas aspect of the five elements. Then we are told how. Now, still that tamas is still subtle. And it has to grossify in some way. So we are told that this tamas aspect of the five elements undergoes mutual combination called panchikaranam. In that process, the subtle becomes gross. What is gross? Gross is that which can be perceived through senses. So then we have the gross body, this perceptible body, made up of the tamas aspect of the five elements. And we have the gross universe of names and forms, again the product of the tamas aspect of the five elements. This is how the process of creation is explained. How the one becomes many. Ekameva dvitiyam. The one without a second, the non-dual, that is devoid of all divisions, somehow appears as, creates or appears as this universe which is all duality, all diversity, all divisions. Most amazing. The creation is the effect and Brahman is the cause. The cause does not contain any elements or any attributes of this effect. How can that happen, Swami? Clay can give rise to a clay pot. You can't make chapati out of clay. A mango seed will give a mango tree, will not give a lemon tree. How come Brahman, which has no duality at all, no diversity, no impurity, no divisions, how can it produce this universe which is all duality, diversion, etc.? Vedantins have no answer to this. This is anirvachaniyam. It is inexplicable. But nobody will admit this. So what do they say? They say there is Maya. So Brahman through Maya created this universe, you can say. What is Maya? Trigunatmika Maya. Maya is that which is made up of the three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas. And all those gunas then flow into the universe which is the product of Maya. So what we experience is all these divisions. And another thing that we have, not only do we experience the divisions or duality which Maya has created, but Maya has supposedly created another thing which is most dangerous. What is that? That we take these divisions as real. So when I say we are born with this, meaning that number one, that we are born with the faculties of perception and knowledge with which we only perceive the diversity. And also, we are born with the conclusion that this diversity is real, this division is real. To perceive the diversity is one thing, and to consider real is another thing. We can perceive the diversity in various ornaments, that each ornament is different, the chain is different, the bangle is different from the earring, no doubt about that. But we also know that the content of each ornament is gold, and therefore, even though the difference exists at some level, it doesn't exist at the core level. That's the reason why, even though we look upon chain as a chain, respect it and wear only in the neck, and the bangle is a bangle, we respect it, wear it in the wrist, and earring is earring and wear it in the ear. So we perceive this diversity, we respect that diversity, but in our mind we know that all of this is gold. So if you want to tell somebody or the government, how much gold do you have? This many grams of gold I have. I don't bother how many bangles I have and how many chains I have. Many grams of gold. So we have that knowledge in many cases where even though the eyes perceive the diversity of names and forms and the usage, chain is one name, one form and one use, earring is one name, one form, another use, bangle is one name, one form, another use. Everything is characterized by nama, rupa and karma, meaning that name and form and usefulness or function. Name, form and function. Chain is one function, bangle is another function, earring is a third function. Everything is characterized by name and form and function. So even when we appreciate that diversity in the ornaments, that diversity does not create any kind of division in our mind because we know the innate oneness existing among them. Sometimes we forget that. And there sometimes we quarrel for the names and forms also. That no, I don't like this bangle. I want this one. I don't like this earring. I want that one. So I've seen girls quarreling and crying for this because when they're getting ready for a party or something is, reading them. The child says, no, I don't know that. Not this Bengal, not that one. So for that one, I guess the name and form also is equally real. For mother they are not, but for the child they are. When the name and form become equal, then there is a big problem. I want this and I don't want that. This is better, this is not good enough, etc., etc. So thus, Maya, which is the cause of the universe, is made of sattva, rajas and tamas, and therefore universe also displays the diversity created by three gunas. That's what we experience. Just sattva means peace, tranquility, knowledge. So we experience the universe also, peace, tranquility, knowledge, many places, many people. Rajas means activity. Lobha, pravrittirarambha, karmanam, shamaspruha, greed, craving, unceasing activities, running from one goal to the other. That's rajas, that's all we see. Aprakasha, apravrittischa, mohameva cha pandava. And dullness, ignorance, lack of initiative, lack of motivation, inactivity, laziness, lethargy, is all tamas. That also we see. Rajas also has cravings, greed. Tamas also has the further distortion of anger and cruelty. So it is true that the universe of names and form that is created from these three gunas, the costume that the universe wears, when we say that Brahman said, may I become many, may I be born, in effect what Brahman created was this universe of diversity of sattva, rajas, tamas, of names and forms and functions, and tashrushtva tadevanupravishata, having created that, it entered there. What's the meaning of the word entering? Like an actor enters a costume, you can say. Sometimes when you go to the supermarket, to showrooms, and then, costumes, dresses are all displayed, and they ask you to try. So you go to the trial room and then enter that costume. You can wear and see how it looks like. So you can say that the actor enters the costume. You can say he puts on the costume or enters the costume. What is meant by entering the costume is, it as though gives up its original identity and acquires a new identity. That's what is entering. A good actor. When a good actor enters the costume of beggar, it means that it as though gives old identity of an actor, of a very wealthy person, and acquires a new identity, that of a beggar. That is called entering. That's what Ishvara did. Tashrushtva tadevanupravishata. It created all these names and forms, all the diverse costumes. As long as we know that the diversity is only at the level of costume, there is no problem. But what Ishvara did was, not only it created diversity, it entered, it changed the identity. It assumed a new identity. Now the actor has assumed the identity called beggar, called king, called minister, called hero, called villain. And if you do not realize that behind all this diversity there is oneness, is one actor alone who appears as a beggar and a king, and a minister and villain, and etc. Then we'll take them, each one of them as different from each other. And then we treat them also differently. We look upon beggar in one way, treat the beggar in one way, the king in a different way, minister in a third way, a criminal in the fourth way. If you think that, that is the reality of that entity. And that's what is happening to us. The truth is that it is one actor, one Ishvara, one Brahman, which is nirdosham, devoid of all the defects. And the limitation is called the defect. Inadequacy is called a defect. Devoid of all inadequacy, all limitation, all divisions. Which is complete, free from all lack and want and divisions. That is the nature of Brahman. Now that the Brahman has entered this universe of names and forms, meaning that it has assumed all these costumes. But here, entry means not just putting on the costume, but then assuming a new identity. So this is where our example of the actor and costume, is somewhat different. That when the actor enters the costume, then it retains his identity. So that's not quite entering as we mean by entering. Tat srishtva tadeva anupravishat. Having created that, it entered. Here the entry is changing the identity. Therefore, in our example, you can say that the actor entered the costume, meaning that it put on the costume and changed its identity. That means identified with the costume. And therefore now his perception of himself changed. Earlier the perception was, I am actor, I am a wealthy person. Now the perception has changed, I am a beggar. So this is called entry. We don't use the word entry in that sense. Devadatta entered his house, he entered. So entry in the usual parlance, in the day-to-day language, does not mean to change the identity. But here, that is why there is a long discussion. When Bhashyakara explains this expression, tadeva anupravishat, tat anupravishat, what is this pravesha? What is this entry? This pravesha, entry, this expression appears in more than one Upanishads. Anena jivena atmana, in Chandogya also. Anupravishya nam rupe vyakarvani iti. So Chandogya also talks about the same thing that I quoted, Sadeva Somedam Agrasit, comes from Chandogya. Tadaikshata, that same Sat or Brahman, Aikshata, saw, deliberated, Bhusyam, may I become, Prajaya, may I be born, meaning what? May enter and identify. Anena jivena atma anupravishya nam rupe vyakarvani iti. He says, I will enter as a jiva atma, meaning I will change my identity. And then diversify these names and forms. So this is what has happened. Why is it so, Swamiji? Maya. When we cannot give a logical explanation. You can say it's a play. That's what sometimes an explanation is, why should Brahman want to say that I want to become many? Why? Just Leela, Krida, play. But in play, nobody changes identity. In the olden days, kings also used to play, meaning that they would change the roles. They may even act in the actual plays, or they may change their costume to go around the town to watch, what's going on. But then also, they did not change the identity. Here, having entered these costumes, Brahman who entered has changed the identity. Meaning that now, just as the actor entering the costume of beggar changes identity and now says, I'm a beggar, meaning doesn't know now that I'm an actor. That's called changing the identity. That no more the knowledge of its true identity than I'm the actor. And now he has the knowledge and conviction that I'm a beggar. So thus his perception of the self has changed completely. His conviction has changed completely. So now how does he act? He doesn't act as Brahman. He acts as the one who has now the new identity. Testing my patience as well as your patience. So we're talking about the entry, changing the identity. That's what Bhudarnika also explains. Anakhagrebhyah. He entered up to the tip of the nail. Anupravishtaha anakhagrebhyah. That creator has entered here up to the tip of the nail, meaning that he is completely identified with his body, mind, sense complex. So what is his now new identity? Prananeva pranana bhavati vadan vak pashyan chakshuhu. Now when he performs the act of breathing, he doesn't say, I'm Brahman breathing. He says, I'm the breather. I am a live being, an individual breathing. Vadan vak. Now when the action of speech, of speaking takes place, he says, I am a speaker. Pashyan chakshuhu. When the act of seeing takes place, he says, I am the seer. Shrun shrotram. When the action of hearing takes place, he says, I am the hearer. Manvano manah. When the act of thinking takes place, he says, I am a thinker. Now the identity is changed completely. This is what has happened. So two things have happened. Number one, that diversity is created. And number two, there is the identification of diversity, meaning that the diversity is taken to be real. And therefore, how do I take myself to be? As confined to this name and form and function, this body, mind, sense complex, because that's where Brahman is entered, identified. And now he says, I'm a speaker, I'm a hearer, I'm a thinker, I'm a walker, talker, father, mother, successful, failure, doctor, lawyer, famous, non-famous, etc. So that when I confine myself to this one name and form, it is natural for me to think that you are the other one confined to that name and form. That's how the division between all living beings is created. With one jiva and the other jiva. With one living being and the living being, the division is created. I am different because I am up to this. I am confined within this body, mind and sense called. That much I am. And it doesn't stop there. That creates in me all kinds of things. Then I compare myself with you. I say I'm superior to you. And some kind of complex is entertained. I'm inferior to you, and the kind of complex is entertained. So thus when the duality between you and I is taken to be real, that you are totally different from me and I am totally different from you, if I just thought that you are different from me as far as your body and mind is concerned, and I am different from you as far as my body and mind is concerned, that's all right. The one functioning through that body-mind and functioning with this body-mind are not different. Suppose I knew that, then there would be no problem. Because yes, there is a duality at some level, no doubt about that. It has been deliberated, created. That's called creation. Where one becomes many, the same becomes dissimilar, the limitless becomes limited. That's called creation. Urdhva moolam adashakam. The universe says its moolam, its root, its cause as urdhva, as uparivartamanam, as the limitless. Adashakam, the creation is one with branches all coming down, which means all duality, diversity. That's called creation. So kamayada, he himself desired and he did this. But then, when you do not know that this is just created for no reason other than just to have it, but no reason. Not even for fun, not even for play, for no reason you can assign. But when you do not know that, then the division that appears in the body-mind sense complex is taken to be division of between you and I, division between one self and the other self. That is where the problem is. The problem is not that one body-mind sense complex is different from the other one. The problem is one self is different from the other self. So problems are all centered upon the self, not centered upon non-self. We would not have any problem if we knew that everything is all at the level of non-self. But then what obtains as a non-self? When it's transferred, the transference takes place. The superimposition takes place. And the conclusion is that you are different and I am different. So this is what we call the non-sameness, inequality, or duality, division. This division, this conclusion of division is the cause of all the problems. And that's the reason why the importance or the necessity of the vision of non-duality will continue.
सच्चिदानंद गुरु सच्चिदानंद गुरु सच्चिदानंद गुरु सच्चिदानंद गुरु सच्चिदानंद गुरु सद्गुरु सद्गुरु सच्चिदानंद गुरु सद्गुरु सद्गुरु सच्चिदानंद गुरु सद्गुरु सद्गुरु सच्चिदानंद गुरु सद्गुरु सद्गुरु सच्चिदानंद गुरु सच्चिदानंद गुरु सच्चिदानंद गुरु सच्चिदानंद गुरु मम गुरु सच्चिदानंद गुरु मम गुरु सच्चिदानंद गुरु सच्चिदानंद गुरु सच्चिदानंद गुरु सच्चिदानंद गुरु जय गुरु सच्चिदानंद गुरु जय गुरु सच्चिदानंद गुरु जय गुरु सच्चिदानंद गुरु जय गुरु सच्चिदानंद गुरु सच्चिदानंद गुरु सच्चिदानंद गुरु सच्चिदानंद गुरु ओम गुरु सच्चिदानंद गुरु सच्चिदानंद गुरु सच्चिदानंद गुरु सद्गुरु सद्गुरु सच्चिदानंद गुरु सद्गुरु सद्गुरु सच्चिदानंद गुरु सच्चिदानन्द